Testing. 1, 2, 3. There's gonna be a delay on my stream, so like. Okay, I just heard it on my back end here. So, we're doing a coding stream right now. I see we got 2 watching. So, that's interesting. So I'm actually gonna wait a bit. So we might not even do coding right now just yet. Cause I really want people to look at something. Hmm. Okay, so my face is on cam now. So hello everyone. So my webcam is working here now. Yeah, we're gonna do a very raw, unedited type. We're just gonna do things as we go and see if anyone will join. If it just ends up just being me talking to myself on stream, no one ever joins. So okay, I'm reading here the Pope. Okay, so apparently the Pope is voting with Trump now. Which is good. We don't trust the Pope. I don't trust the Pope. I trust the Pope less than I trust Trump. Do I fully trust Trump? No. I'm just looking to see. Uh, Uh, no, I see. I see Melanie Mac. Melanie Mac is talking about ethnic gold again? Uh, why is that Star Wars girl talking about Johnny Somali? I'm just looking here. I'm seeing the Star Wars. That Star Wars girl is. Why is a girl who was just a random bimbo talking about who rips on nerd culture, and that's her whole deal. Randomly talking about some irrelevant YouTuber now. Uh, she just called it the schizo stream. Cause it's just me being a schizo, really. I don't think I've gotten schizo enough. Okay, like, oh, that's what I need to do. Oh, the quarrying the cuck now. Oh, alright then. Since we're not looking at anything, actually, you know what? Let me Google my own channel on stream. I don't think anyone has done this before. Oh, that's right. You can't see my stream. It's black still. Let's see now. Oh, I could have live streamed some Borderlands Game of the Year edition. Actually, I might not be able to have that for a while now since. Ah, shoot. Gonna have to restart my Borderlands since I. Unless he doesn't know yet. Unless he doesn't know yet that I'm still on his Steam account. Steam Crown Share. Oh, wait, I just announced that on stream. Alright then, so. Because I'm trying to see now. Trying to see when I reacted to the one chick's YouTube video. Gotta say, yeah, and it had 46 views. That's pretty good. Um, no, no, no. There we go. All right, this is the tool we're looking for. Alrighty then. Oh, and that is not. To do a transform here. There we go. Alright, Dakota Stage. He has 865 subscribers or 58 videos. Okay, so it's like she has more subscribers than me. I made one video on her and that didn't boost my channel up nearly enough as I thought it would. Damn, I mean, you know what? At this point, this is just telling me that it's like what I need to do is I should have just been born a woman. I should have been born a woman. I should have been born a woman and I would have already been hitting like 800 subs. But I don't. Instead, I retreat here. Yeah, but looks like she's been inactive since 11 months ago. So, by the way, where is that one video? Oh, she made a video on the substance. Anyway, what am I doing? But you know what? I'm gonna subscribe to her. I'm gonna subscribe to my opposition here. I'm gonna subscribe to my opposition. Yeah. Let's see what the YouTube feed says now. Oh yeah, don't yeah. If you see my own stream, that's because I'm a shut like that. I'm just like a shut like that. All right. Let's see now. What do we got? No, what the heck is this? I don't think I've seen this before.
Would your OS be used for servers, mobile, or is it desktop? What OS? I've talked very briefly for short periods of time about what I would do if I were ever to make an operating system. That is nowhere near equivalent to the amount of thought that you put in if you're actually making an operating system. So, like, saying your OS is ridiculous because I haven't done like 1% of the work you would even need to get started. And I don't have time to do that right now.
Oh shoot! I have my desktop audio. Oh wait, never mind.
But no, what I've always said is if you're going to make an operating system and you actually, okay, here's the thing. When I talk about make an operating system, a lot of people have the wrong objective because they think it's like any open source slopware where it's like, oh, the goal is to just get people to use it. No, that's not the goal. Why? Because there's already quite a few operating systems that a lot of people use. That already exists, right? So if you're going to make one, you have to have an objective of improving the situation. Now, I have a lot of ideas about how to drastically reduce, all of these operating systems that we're using were, they were architected back before computers were like they are now in a lot of ways. And back before we knew where software was going to go and all this stuff. So I think if you just start with knowing what we know today, you could delete a lot of code. So like for me, that would be the objective, is to get a massively simplified quote unquote technical stack that still has all the functionality that we have today. Okay, how do you do that? Well, you just pick some fixed hardware to start with. Because again, you're going to like drown yourself to death trying to make drivers for everything. So, yeah, the answer is it wouldn't even be desktop only. It would be like a very specific CPU, a very specific GPU, maybe. If we even, I mean, you have to have a GPU of some kind, but like, you know, it would be very specific hardware to start because the point would be to prove out the concept that you don't need 99% of the code that's on your computer right now. I don't see any other reason to do an operating system. There's no, like, oh, there's a little bit of other reason to do an operating system. Like, I want a better interface to my devices, but like PlayStation's already doing that as well, right? So they're doing some version of that. So you're saying there's a chance? The chance is very close to zero. Like, dude, I could have been rich. Instead, I made this video game and I'm poor now. I don't have the money to do an operating system project. And I would need, I mean, you need a team of at least a few really good people to do that in the kind of time scale. Like, I need to still make games. It's just not going to happen. It's, yeah, it's just not going to happen. Unless, well, never say never, but like, it's just not going to happen. Just don't get excited about if I ever make an operating system, that'll be neat, I guess. But don't get all like looking forward to it.
Jonathan Bowes, Jonathan Bow makes an operating system before GTA 6 comes out. I'm just gonna add that joke now. Are people even still hyped for GTA 6? I mean, we're pretty much done with this one. Yeah, well, what's going on with GTA 6 going on right now? Let's see what happens if I Google GTA 6. What
So
the
the
heck is
last
this?
48 hours has been pretty crazy for GTA 6 because obviously if you've been following the news, you will know that a company tried to sort of say to Rockstar that they had a big leak and if they didn't pay $200,000 then they were going to leak loads of stuff. And of course, a bunch of us were worried because we've seen things like this happen before. GTA 6 has been delayed lots before, but it
This
turns
is a
out that
British
it's
dude. I'm annoyed. I'm interested
The
in this
Rockstar
one.
Games data breach has been released by the hacking group Shiny Hunters. We'll be talking about what's going on and more. Is Grand Theft Auto 6 safe? What's happened and more, all in this video today. So I'm going to cover things in chronological order here because it all sort of began yesterday afternoon when the hacking group Shiny Hunters updated the wording on the Rockstar Games leak on their dark web site and now state that only metrics data was exposed. It was changed to your Snowflake instances, metrics data was compromised. So this gave us an idea that it was mostly going to be probably analytical and data stuff and not necessarily something that might spoil the story of Grand Theft Auto 6 or give us an insight at the potential marketing details. But it still was not April 14th, which was the deadline for this hacking group. And apparently they had set a bounty of $200,000. That was the amount that they were asking for Rockstar Games to pay. Now, that hasn't been confirmed. That was what was posted in a Telegram chat where apparently not only the data size of the files was revealed, but also, again, the amount that they were requesting. And then just a few hours after that, they released the Rockstar Games data breach, going on to say, we do not operate a Telegram channel, and this data was never for sale like reported on X. So I think they ended up clarifying that. Now, the recommendation was to not download this, let experts handle it because it could be obviously illegal and also contain malware. And essentially what this leak told us was just
What the
a
heck is this
ton
guy
of
even
data
playing?
and primarily financial metrics for Rockstar Games focused on Grand Theft Auto Online and Red Dead Online. There's been no reported leaked information on Grand Theft Auto 6, its marketing, or future projects. So for now, it is safe. But what this actually does tell us is kind of why Rockstar works the way they work. And we'll dive into that in a little bit. So some crazy information that came out was the average weekly bookings for GTA Online, and you can see here that over 50% of it comes from the PlayStation 5 platform alone at
Oh, great. The theory is correct.
$4,486.
The theory is
That is
correct.
insane. Over 50%, the next highest being 22%, the Xbox Series X.
So, oh my god, I can't believe the PC percent is
I'm
so
pretty
low.
sure that probably includes the
That means that
Series
no
S
one
as
is
well, because
that,
after that, it's a tie
that might be a
between
good
the
thing.
older
That means that like
generation
the series
consoles,
gamers are
Xbox
not
One and
messing with
PS4
GTA.
11%, with PC
Because everyone
only
knows that
3%. You can see
everyone knows that like GTA has always been like the normie game. Like yes, it highly is praised for the level of detail that sometimes go. And the level of detail is just something as small as like, oh, your flip flops actually flip flop in game. Like yeah, that's a feature. Do I get a reward for realizing that the flip flops? No, like I don't know, but then there are some guys who like ultimately they go around and they act like boomers, and they're saying that Draft and Bottle was a ghetto game and it promotes ghetto culture and it's gonna ultimately lead down to the fall of the West or something like that. And I'm like, I don't think GTA would lead to the fall of the West. Now, could we say it's a mediocre game? Yes. Okay. Is it a poorly well? No, no. I can't say that GTA 5 is a poorly well game. It could have been much better. Yes, GTA as a series, as a franchise, could be much better. Like I think I enjoyed Saints Row. What I play of Saints Row much more than GTA. I even like what I play of Watch Dogs more than GTA. Even knowing that like Watch Dogs is another game that is just being butchered because it's like it's Ubisoft. Okay, like the only problem with Watch Dogs is the fact that it's Ubisoft and Ubisoft don't make good games. Um, they don't make consistently good games. Okay, sometimes they'll come out with a banger and sometimes they just won't. Which is why I don't even bother buying any of their games really. What am I kidding? I'm a LARPy here as a gamer. I've not even played a game. Actually, I did spend like a good amount of time today playing some Sims 4.
how low that is. So if we take both the PlayStation 5 and the PlayStation 4, you're looking at close to around 65% of all weekly spending is done on a Sony platform. And it's no wonder why Sony and Rockstar have always had a special relationship, because PlayStation is the leading platform for Rockstar games. So it should not be surprising going forward with Grand Theft Auto 6 why there's probably going to be some exclusive items that only come on the PlayStation 5, why they've clearly partnered with Sony to do their trailer release.
So, because of like the fact that the majority of the PS is on the PS4, is that why PlayStation will get an early access to a chameleon skin for your cars? Yeah, the exclusive Sony chameleon like wrap for your car, your digital card, your digital slop.
I mean, Rockstar even announced that it was captured on a PlayStation 5, half gameplay, half cutscenes. There's probably going to be a PlayStation 5 or PS5 bundle with Grand Theft Auto 6. They have a relationship with Sony, and that's because that's where most of the people that play their games are on that platform. There's also some interesting data that
So this guy is just gonna go on yapping. He writes this there. Okay, and they keep hacking. Alright. Okay, fine. Let's do some actual coding now, I guess. Get the window. Get my code. Okay. Right then. Hopefully someone will bless me. Alright. Let's begin a new Java project here. So my Java. Okay. Public. Let's do some public. Class my Java. Public. Like void main string on generate system.out.print then semicolon. No, not that one. Now, see now, Java C my Java.jar. Nah, it's using the it's using the CURT64 thing. So now Java my Java. Okay, how the heck do I? Okay, so now what is it? Java my there we go. And I misspell hello world. Okay. All right. And I should probably put some music on, but it's like everything's copyrighted. Now, I'm wondering. Okay, so the same thing as a C program. I have to keep compiling to make this run in the terminal. I did a run Java button here, which means if I do this and then so we do that instead. Yeah, well, that's why you want this. Good to know. And then escape sequences is okay. So we can. Then I'm gonna do dot print. Tab line. I forgot the semicolon. All right. Oh, let's see what this book says here. Um. Let's see now. Let's see here what it says here in ThinkJava 2. Finally, programming sometimes brings out strong emotions. If you are struggling with a difficult bug, you might feel angry, despondent, or embarrassed. Hmm. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. Anyway, let's get back to the coding, I guess. Okay, let's do strings now. Okay, why is that tab? And right here we can do into hour and then do minute. You might as well do second. Day 28. Let me do x equals, oh no, 7. And then I'm gonna do number actually equal x. Can I format? Is there print f? I forgot to semicolon again. Okay. Let's add in double pi pi will be equal to 3.141. Since we already had these days, print and my I think my headphones just decided to boom. Oh, I got pissed now. Alright. All right. Hmm. All right. Um. Hmm. Doom. Do doom. Uh. Yeah. Alrighty then. Okay, maybe not yet. Okay, now if I do this, whoop, yep, we're hacking into the matrix, boys. We're hacking into the matrix. Hacking into the matrix, everyone. Hacking into the matrix. All fine and dandy now. All good in the hood. Alright. Should probably do some more code. Actually, I know we did enough code. I think it's back to some more YouTube. Alright. Yeah, YouTube really liked my Elizabeth Holmes deep dive. The heck is this? It's like, okay, so it's like a random like person just coding their, yeah, they're coding. And comments are turned off. 16 views. It was uploaded a day ago. No such has been added to this video. This is a random person. This is a random person on YouTube. Good. Good, good. The heck is this machine learning? The heck? Johnny Salmani had been sentenced to prison with labor. No suspended sentence. He will be going to a specialized labor prison. His phone will be confiscated and he will also receive offender status. Somali may appeal within 1 week. Ah, this guy just keeps doing it. He keeps on doing it. Just gotta do that more for research. What the heck? Fairy teaches you the vector? Do I even click on this? Do what the heck? Of course. Okay, and I'm not even like ignoring the fact that I got a drag queen here too, for some reason, and oddly, near the Myron Gaines live channel, of course. Interesting. Wowza. Wait, there's a second Wisecraft channel? And it has not been updated since a year. I'm gonna subscribe to it anyway. Huh. And okay, now Nick Frieda is reacting to that meme now. Okay. Gotta save this too for research. Oh, Chris Hansen did a collab with my Ryan Montgomery. Maybe I'll watch that later, give it a try. Oh, well, let's see what.
Hey there, buddy. Do you know why I pulled you over? Undisclosed use of AI while coding. Yeah, that's an actionable offense. You need to cite when you use an LLM, okay, Buster? If you continue this, we're going to throw you clean out of the city, okay? Yes, this is my mason jar creeping into the camera angle. Is it a hot cup of pee? Yes, it is. Now you're probably thinking, okay, what the heck are you even talking about? Why are we talking about needing to publicly announce that you're using an AI? Well, the reason why we're talking about it is that the Linux development team and Linus himself has finally come to a conclusion of how LLMs can be used within the Linux kernel development. And for the last 6 months, there has been a bit of a raging war. Okay, there's a Franz Ferdinand involved that kicked off the entire thing, and there's lots of angry and sweaty nerds in the comments. So to kick this thing off, I think it would be best if we just looked over the code in which kicked off this entire thing. It's only a little 19-line change in which there's a replacement of this old hash table that used to be used, but instead there's now this new define hash table function. Instead of saying how big it is numerically, you say it as a power of 2 to the 7 is 128. So you say, hey, I only need 7 bits. Instead of creating a key by doing a little bit of masking operations, instead, you just simply get to use some of the more convenient functions. Same thing with adding, deleting is virtually the exact same. So even me, as a layman looking at this code, this looks rather reasonable, right? But if you zoom in, no, we're talking about zooming in, okay? No. You're not listening to me. I want you to get in it, baby. Do you see that read mostly? Do you see how that read mostly was removed? Well, a bunch of the reviewers didn't really catch that. I assume they thought that the define hash table uses read mostly. Oh, but it didn't. And this caused a performance regression. No.
Yeah, I'm not smart enough to understand what he's saying in that video. I'm not. But why am I getting recommended young children? Wait, what? What the heck is this? Oh, cast this for a save later. Huh. Hmm. The heck is this from Memology 101?
You can't miss the ICE agents. They wear masks. The only law enforcement agency in the United States.
Who would this? See, since 1997. Oh, good lord, he's been in it since the 90s. No, seriously, it's like, why are people upset about like Trump making the joke about like about a third term when we don't have like term limits for these guys over here? Like, well, like we don't even have term limits for like my mayor, like the mayor of my local town, and I'm not gonna say my town because I'm not gonna be a dumbass like that and like doxing myself. Anyway.
States that I know of, federal, state, or local, where their officers wear masks. Many of them historically didn't even have a name tag to identify who they were. They are a paramilitary force created by President Trump and Stephen Miller to harass people who may be here illegally when it comes to immigration.
Wait, who?
You sure about that?
Yeah, because I was about to say, like, I'm pretty sure ISIS is way before Trump. Like,
They are a paramilitary force created by President Trump and Stephen Miller.
What? What an idiot! Oh, what a loser!
I see. Of course. Kurchan is. Yeah. So, if I can understand this one.
The 90s, an iconic time, from the rise of video games to the advent of sitcoms, unhinged fashion trends, and so much more. But the 90s also brought in a whole era of absolutely cracked programmers. John Carmack, Linus Torvalds, Richard Stallman, Fabrice Ballard, Dave Plummer, the guy responsible for this, who also roasted me on Twitter once. Although the 2000s and 2010s had their fair share of great programmers, they're mostly known for their business ventures, not a game that can run on a microwave, a pregnancy test, and a calculator. Of course there were legends preceding the 90s. It's just the 90s in particular spawned so many. Why is that? Let's start with the obvious. Hardware. Back in the day, if you just ran a program, you had enough time to make a sandwich before it even compiled. Nowadays, we start deprecating entire tech stacks if our build takes longer than a TikTok. RAM was measured in kilobytes, and megabytes if you were extremely rich. The cheapest smartphone you can buy from Amazon today has the RAM of a supercomputer from the 90s. I'm not even kidding. Heck, forget RAM. You'd be lucky to have a computer in your house. When memory was so tight, every single line of code mattered. 90s programmers didn't have the luxury of optimizing later. They had to optimize, otherwise their computer would...
So, basically what we're saying is that, like, we programmers have just been procedurally been slopping it out, and way before even the AI boom came to be. I dropped some, not staples, but few earlier because as I was getting ready and all, I dropped something. I dropped a case of like paper clips. Made a mess everywhere. It was a mess. Let's continue the video.
Crash trying to render a pixel. DIY. Back in the day, there was no pip install, no React, no AI. If you wanted a library, congratulations. Get ready to write one, chief. You were dealing with raw C, pointer arithmetic, and manuals thicker than the Bible. When something broke, you couldn't go ask an AI agent or hop on a VC with your Discord bros. There was just you, your terminal, and however long you had access to a computer. But that's also what made them so freaking good. Having these limitations had to make them think in more creative ways. In the 80s and the 90s, they would literally use video memory as data storage, and this was before dedicated VRAM controllers. If they needed a few extra bytes otherwise, they'd need to hand optimize an assembly. They counted CPU cycles like a bodybuilder counts calories. But again, these limitations just made them sharper, and they largely built a lot of the abstractions we use today. No tutorials. Nowadays, we're spoiled for choice in terms of tutorials. You could spend an entire lifetime just doing courses. We have so many tutorials, we invented tutorial hell. But back in the 90s, you'd be lucky to find a programming book in the library. The closest thing you'd have to guidance is a printed manual, and maybe a friend who was good with computers but didn't really know programming. You'd have to spend hours debugging, staring at hexadecimal memory dumps, and somehow after enough pain, things would kinda work. These days we're spoiled for choice. We have content, mentors, programming groups, a whole subculture dedicated to programming. 90s programmers really only had their compiler to speak to.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Now there is a caveat. A lot of these 90s programmers were successful because they were on the frontier of tech. You weren't scaling to billions of users, managing 12 layers of microservices. You were trying to build a fun 2D game without your computer exploding. And although programming was infinitely harder, the problems themselves were simpler to understand, and they were actual problems to solve, not some agentic AI workflow fostering collaboration. That's why names like Linus, Stallman, and Ballard feel so revered. Except Stallman, I kinda don't like the guy. Because before the age of AI hype bros, buy my course YouTubers, day in the life TikTokers,
Make it stop!
there was just you, your computer, and whatever it is you wanted to build. Not gonna lie, I'd rather be a programmer now. At least nowadays I can watch Netflix engineers react to articles about Perl. And also because we have awesome tools to make our life easier. Like the sponsor of today's video, Whisperflow. Now if you work at a startup like me, you probably wake up every day with your inbox looking like this. And you're fast. Like check this out. Hey, these are messages. Hey, can we tomorrow is flow? It just needs a text in. It's into your IDE, certain Windows, and a large part phone. Click the...
Oh my god, like, do I don't get why they need to make like a good chunk of their videos like what 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 huh uh,
So there's a CEO in South Korea, Chang Kim, and he runs Krafton, the company behind PUBG, the game where you parachute onto an island butt naked and beat a stranger to death with a frying pan like it's a tooth.
so what I learned from that video is that we have
Tuesday in Florida, and this man is on Slack at some ungodly hour having what can only be described as a rich person meltdown. He's telling his colleagues he feels dragged around. He's calling a contract he signed a pushover deal because a few years back he bought a little game studio called Unknown Worlds, the makers of Subnautica, and he promised the founders $250 million if their next game hits certain targets. And at the time he thought there was no way in hell it would hit those targets. Subnautica 2 ends up topping Steam wishlists, and internal projections have it destroying every target, and Kim is like, oh shit, I might actually have to pay these people. But then he's like, wait, it's the 21st century, I have artificial intelligence now. I'm not gonna pay these nerds $250 million for a fish game. So he closes Slack, he opens ChatGPT, and types, how do I get out of this deal? Now, to its credit, the bot initially says it would be difficult to cancel, which is the same thing his lawyer and his head of corporate development, Maria Park, told him. But Kim is a CEO. He's not the kind of guy who takes no for an answer. So he starts shifting the language around, sitting there at his computer, rephrasing the same question over and over, prompt engineering his way out of a contract like he's building G-Stack for fraud. Or wait, is that already what G-Stack is? I don't know. Anyway, the bot eventually caves, because that's what these things do, and hands him a full corporate takeover playbook. And this man follows every step like it's an IKEA manual for screwing people. He fires the founders, he seizes the game, he locks them out of their own publishing platform. He even posts a letter to the Subnautica fan base that ChatGPT ghost wrote for him, and Reddit fucking explodes because the letter reads like a ransom note that went through Grammarly. The dudes rightfully sue, and a Delaware judge throws out literally everything he did and reinstates every person he fired. His deleted ChatGPT logs, which he thought he deleted because he looked at a web app and thought the delete button actually deletes things, those logs were resurrected from the digital afterlife and submitted to court as evidence. Now we'll come back to our CEO friend in a second, because a few days ago, a reporter at Inc. magazine published what he apparently believes is a breakthrough in artificial intelligence. He wrote a whole article about how to get your bot to give you honest business advice. And his method, the thing he is presenting to the world as a contribution to human knowledge, is to type the words, "be brutally honest" at the end of your prompt. He basically built a disapproving father figure in a chat window. And for good measure, he fed it 2 Harvard Business School articles like he was tucking a diploma into its shirt pocket. He's like, there you go, little buddy, you went to Harvard now. So he tests this by pitching it the dumbest idea he can think of, which is leadership coaching for dogs. Like teaching your Labradoodle to delegate, or helping your pug develop a growth mindset. Which, have you seen a pug? That thing does not have a mindset. And you're sitting there like, okay, this needs to come back as 0. If this thing works, leadership coaching for dogs is a 0. The bot gives it a 3 out of 10, and this man, this professional journalist whose entire function in society is to question things, looks at that number and goes, hell yeah, my system is working. He then pitches it his actual idea, which is a little AI turret that sits on your kitchen counter and sprays your cat with water if it tries to climb up. Basically a Roomba that bullies animals. He built the Iron Dome for cats. The bot gives it a 7.5 and says the competitive landscape is notably weak. And this dude is like, holy shit, 7.5, let's fuck go. This bot tells no lies. So yeah, this man is probably out there right now pitching an AI super soaker that bullies your cat to VCs. Gary Tan is probably even leading the round. So what do Chang and Kim and the cat squirter have in common? They've both been absolutely bamboozled into thinking the bot knows what it's talking about when it doesn't have the slightest clue. And
that's where I thought it was gonna. I was like, there's no way someone actually asked ChatGPT for advice, and it's like, and ChatGPT gave the advice, and they're like, oh, and they ran with it.
researchers just proved this with 30,000 data points. They tested every major bot, including GPT-5, Claude, and Gemini, on actual strategic business decisions. Questions like, should you differentiate or commoditize? Should you centralize or decentralize? Should you automate or augment? And every bot gave the same answer every single time. They clustered around a certain set of advice regardless of the context. They always preferred differentiation, collaboration, long-term thinking, and augmentation. The researchers looked at this and were stunned. They're like, surely AI isn't this simple. So they changed the prompts, they changed the industries, they gave it all new context. They even tried bribing the damn thing with rewards. Nothing worked. The bias barely moved. They were moved, however, to coin a term for this, which is trend slop. And honestly, that's a word we need in our corporate lexicon immediately. Boss, I'm sorry to say, but your Q3 OKRs have tested positive for trend slop. But the term is even deeper than even the researchers anticipated. AI is pitched as artificial intelligence when really it's the internet comments section taking flesh. The comments section has literally risen. Imagine you took every Reddit thread, and I mean every single one, every LinkedIn post, including the ones from people who are open to work, every Medium article written by a guy with 11 subscribers, every Substack essay, every TED Talk, every half-literate Facebook comment, and you threw it all into a blender, and you poured it into a suit and gave it a microphone. Welcome to AI. Do you get it now? That's what your CEO is using to decide whether you have a job tomorrow. You could ask a bot with its guard down why torturing babies is good for society, and it would produce the most peer-reviewed sounding argument you've ever heard. And you'd be sitting there like, damn, it's making some good points. It's not so much a thinking product as it is a presentation product. And look, this isn't me being cynical. This is me explaining to you how AI works so you understand how to use it properly. Like the researchers, if you just ask the AI for its own opinion, you'll get average out. You'll get that sort of clustered advice that's useless. What you can do is use it as the, and I'm sorry to say, the glorified search engine presentation layer that it is. You can ask things instead like, in the perspective of Mr. Wonderful from Shark Tank, what would he think of my idea? And if, and only if, the internet has enough useful context on this person's philosophy, you might get something useful. But if not, it'll still take like a meme and 2 Substack comments and presents it like it's this person's authorized biography. The people who will fare well in this era are the ones who use AI for ideas and perspective and not drive-through consulting. We thought AI was going to make everyone a genius. What it's actually doing is taking the smartest people in the room and moving them toward the middle. It makes average sound like genius, and it's really quite dangerous because a bad idea that sounds bad, you could deal with that. But a bad idea that sounds brilliant, that's a $250 million lawsuit. You can dial up the temperature, you can write the perfect prompt, you can feed it your entire company's history, and it will give you the most eloquent, most confident, most beautifully formatted version of what everybody else already thinks. Conviction, art, taste, judgment, sense, that comes from you. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, you can help support my work by becoming...
We do not need AI for trend slop. We already have consulting firms for that. I don't know what a consulting firm is. Who the heck is this dude anyway?
So there's a CEO in South Korea.
Interesting. Wow, it's like YouTube wants to. Wow, okay. Alright, we got here this Elizabeth home video, this stream, this leaflet video, who I about to. I just gotta say, what is it with like admin go attracting all the VTubers? What is it with admin go attracting all the VTubers? And what is it with admin go? He looks homeless, okay? How is it that it's homeless is getting more action than me? Alright, clean arch rice. No, he put Fireship on here. And Coco Melon. But I'm pretty sure Fireship got his channel back. Gonna probably save that to watch later. I'm at curious now with this.
This time, we'll tell you the story of an operating system that seemed to be out of business. It's called Edivantu. Born for the classroom, it once disappeared from history, but how and why did it make a miraculous comeback?
Okay.
Let's unravel the story together. It all started with this one word.
What? Think it's. This is an AI slop channel. I wonder what this recursive factorial is. Someone else is like programming in Ubuntu. I'm not gonna say I kind of do vibe with like Ubuntu's terminal like background color, like it's purple. Like I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of a vibe. But obviously we can customize this. We can customize it. We can customize it because you know Linux lets you have all the control, especially if you're an Arch user, which I'm not. I use CashOS on my laptop. Trace debugger. Imagine it's a trans debugger. Yep. some random person's like. Wait, they made textures in Emacs? So the textures is running on the Emacs. How? Well, let's. No, wait, how is this possible? How are they doing this? Hmm. Right. What is this? Go. Easily with unsandbox extension. Interesting. Well, we should probably make an actual program though. I probably owe it to you guys. So now, yeah, I don't know. It's just this is a pretty bad idea. I didn't even like enjoy this Java stuff. Kind of sucks. I just want to do more Python. Python's like I'm a Python developer. Fucking freaking sucks. But I do need to get around to getting some C in me. calculator dot and we'll just copy this. Yes. We're gonna no, we're not gonna fucking use the AI. Double num1 num2 then and I remember correctly, I think I will call this operator choice. System.out dot print enter first. What? No. Put dot next? It's gonna... One, two... calculator dot. And I forgot the semicolon. Are the cases supposed to be regular colon? Okay, I'm looking here. Don't need to put a case for the fall. Okay. Control S here now. Always these semicolon that's getting me. Okay. That works. That works. Want to try something different now. So if I just how do I comment? And then what I want to do is I want to take a Java and then come out. And then I'm gonna look for Now, whatever you did. Then, okay, we bring back this code. Then it's cloud load. So on the okay, right here. So where's this? Looks like we have to do a bit of chaining here. Char. And can I make this whole thing there be like no, I can't. Okay, no, cause that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to basically have it be that like, cause we have like a string. I'm gonna put my string being 1 plus 1, and then damn it, I'm gonna have to. Looks like I'm gonna have to turn it into a string. How do you set would it be index reference? How do see now? So we do a bit of regular extraction here. We're gonna do Okay. Need to add in 2 string. The total hasn't really been working because we haven't imported. Okay, now that that's done, we can now. Okay, now that we exit out Claude, we don't need him anymore. All right. Okay, so now that we have that split. One now. Now I need to take. How the heck I need to. Basically set. maybe we do need. Double dot parse. So now all right. All right. I didn't want it to be int. That's dumb. Okay, so now to figure out the operator. Okay. So after doing geisha, this carrot. Cause I don't think it's trusting the negation. No. One. Okay. Good, because so now the operator, it's rest your scene. So now alright, I think we made the calculator app, our calculator app, more efficient there. Right. Cause like, right? Come on, it had to mean something. It had to be an improvement somehow. Because now I can do 8 divided by 2 will give me 4. Oh, but like I could make this go further and like, but then it's like the logic. It's like gonna really be hard because then I would have to take in account because like actually 5. Okay, so if I do a third one, it's gonna ignore the third one. Like I'm curious to see what happens, but I kind of want to end the stream and then continue this on to a next stream. So that's what I'm gonna do. So thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for watching.